There's HaShulchan Yardeh Siman Chaf Aleph Sif Hey Ches. This is Supplemental Day 105 of the HaShulchan Yomi series. Hey, Mir Yeshka Mekamak Doyachem Shapikabu is there, the several Doyachem who had doubts about this being able to measure the Shkita, the 51%, supposed to be able to be recognizable by the eye. This Taz Pichodesh brings it down, Chem Mashma, or Taz Pichodesh people, Pakbek, Chem Mashkes, Mordechai Perkan, Lechun, Rabbein Yerucham Aguda, V'shitas Mari Vile, Chom Makom Sheyesh Lo Shenzek, Mevu at the Eno Diadem Dida. Any place where they all evidently assert any place where this language of Rov Anir Leinaim appears, it means that it's not sufficient that it be measured. There's references to going up with the Daf Lamed Zayin Amud Beis. Chem First Barashi Mokam Macher. This is also explicit Rashi. El Shishkas Sabina Shiachtoch Rov Lahedya. It says you have to cut a majority explicitly. Shen Nir Leinaim Sharov. You should be able to see with the eyes that it's majority Chuliak Kan Lashono. That's definitely a Daf Chafal from Ralph. It's difficult to argue even Chumrah on the Rishonim who he previously quoted, Sif Dawud, who said it only has to be subject to measurement. One of the great post-Kim Roach, they rove Gomer, the custom in these countries is only to be machshuv if you have an absolute majority. That's it for short. Now, lay down a minute, came in the same as Manazet. He does. I'm not aware of the Dominicans really in our country. It's pretty amazing. Therefore, he determines if it is a substantial loss, he should be machmir. And that is not a substantial loss. He should be machmir. Have same rule, but if there's a substantial loss, any less, so he should not be machmir. This is for sure that if you didn't check this one immediately after Shechita, you only checked after some time lapsed. Decided you found that time majority was only like a hairbreadth. They didn't like the feel of same ruba. That you can't be matter even in the case of a substantial loss. This mashu could have happened very easily by the movements of the animal, by the jerks of the head after Shechita. But Shechita, it's prevalent. And we assume that that which is prevalent occurs because of that prevalence. You have to ask according to the letter of the law. I feel matir mashu, even according to those who are matir under other circumstances with a mashu of a majority. It is not from the crazy placey. Vav rubel shosim answer share b'makom echad. The majority seems not to be in one place. I feel mafsi bein hashachud makom she'ein hashachud. If you have a cut in one place and then there's interruption, then another cut. If we, when we join together all the places where it's cut, there'll be a majority in the circumference of the simon. And this is Chazal say B'Shef, the 2-3 places the Shechita is kosher. Where do you find such a scenario? Such to begin checking the Simon, and the Simon got turned around. The Gomer Shami, you completed it on the other side. Between the two cuts, Yesh Rov, there's a majority. Kshera, it's kosher Ben Bekar Ben Veshet, whether it's in the trachea or the esophagus. Goes that say if they're all on the same latitude of circumference. Even one of they're different latitudes. One is higher up, one is lower down. Kosher, that's kosher if they are around the circumference of the simon. The main if they're not around the circumference, she's all them on the top, I guess in the front of the simon, or the bottom, that's in the back of the simon, it's nothing. Through being a bad kefo. You need a majority in the circumference. The this is what kills the animal. There's no in this whether one person shechted in two places, or two people shechted two different knives. And we're not concerned they might rely on each other, but won't be a dry between the two of them. Just by one person should be careful. There should not be interruption of the shear of shehiyah, which of course makes the animal treif, between each cut. Those say that Baal Nefesh, somebody who is meticulous, and so however we define Baal Nefesh, somebody is medaktik and mitzvahs, who should not eat from this kind of shechita where the majority is over the course of several places. That's a Tefillah Shor. Abraka says it's Tefillah Shor, and he says it's Arukh, the Gemara Shom, before Shabbi Yitzchak Shakal Shmishufra Shufra Ansha, Yitzchak, who we assume was Baal Nefesh, did eat from such an animal. Zayin. Shechita Asuyah Kakumus. The shechita is like a pen. You put the knife on the neck. A bit of an angle. Sorry, it's not rosh. That's part of the knife is angled up towards the head. The other part is angled towards the body. And that's what Shech. Had the knife straight. Just use the knife. I guess you went like this with your hand. She does at an angle deliberately. Evidently, that's the Lashon Shulchan Aruch, but he says you shouldn't do it deliberately. She does a kshera. Says that shechita is kosher. There's normally Lashon b'diavad. Look like when shechita is kukumus. When it says toiba, shechita is kukumus. Kshera mashi b'diavad. Kshera seems like it's a b'diavad, not chatchila b'tzorach iyun. Requires further analysis. And bracket says, perhaps based on ways of saying Sefiyud, hence, it's the language of B'diavad is not evidence either way. Ches, it says in the Gemara, she like a comb is kosher. He started with his knife above at an angle like the kumus. Chazik came lamata, and then he twisted it towards the bottom. And then he went back to the place where he began. Like the teeth of a comb. Here is a picture. A couple of variations here. Right, zigzagging like that. It's also zigzagging, different type of zigzag. Okay, so the Oshaloni class b'sakino klauto chalal, or if you didn't penetrate with your knife at all into the cavity of the simon nichnas to charov l'shiaka simonim, because if you did, evidently that's likely you would have ripped the simanim. Rather, you slaughter the hides of simanim until the inside of the siman has been revealed. What else did we say here? Right? So that's good. I think the O is a new case because here it's no good. This seems to be a case in a drisha. There's something missing here. I know because this sounds like this different thing. Saviv Saviv Shizgal Chalol v'Orosh Shochat K'Masreik Moshe Nizbara Pushim Tashu Sheyesh L'Sor Shchita Kazu Sheinu Bekim B'Zem Nakal Avoidei Michshol. I don't know. This is the second one. The second pshat is like this. This obviously is no good. The Chodech Or Saviv, right? Because you're just cutting, zigzagging like that in the Or. So that's no good. But the first one, seems to be okay. Any file analysis, the Arukh HaShulchan says that since we're not sure what exactly Masreka is and what would be kosher, what's to be possible, so no matter which way you do it, if it's zigzags, it's okay, it's not good. Either zigzags and it did cut in, or zigzag and didn't cut in, since it's called to be Akira, so therefore we shouldn't be matir bismanazeh. That's what sounds to be in conclusion. A little bit choppy.